our business using Microsoft 365. We have lots of data. Data can be in different places. So we're going to see which tool can actually accomplish this. So we know that, of course, the tool we will use is called Microsoft Power Automate eventually. But there are tools integrated in all of these already. So from OneDrive, we can use Power Automate. Then from SharePoint and from Teams, we can use Power Automate. There's even a super simple tool here called Rules that we can use. So let's have a look. First one is going to be OneDrive. So I'm in my OneDrive here. We have a library, because you know it's OneDrive. So of course we have just one library in my OneDrive. I just went into this subfolder called Demo. So one thing we can do already is that, let's say we have this cell presentation, which is just an example. I can use the drop down over there or the one on the top, of course. And we have Automate. So this is already out of the box without doing any programming. You have these two things that are coming up. Why two? Because it detected that maybe I could ask for an approval request. So it would be sending off an email or a notification to someone to say, please approve this. Or I could also convert the document, this file, into a PDF. So that's really simple. Let's do one very quickly. How to make this in second to convert any Word, Office, really, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, into PDF. So the first step is to approve all the permissions. You don't have to think twice because it's for yourself. It's an automation that is just for yourself. So don't switch the account whatsoever. Just keep your own account. Click Next. You validate, and you will go to the next step and say, all right, now you give me the access to your own OneDrive, although I'm a little Power Automate, so I'll do that. And here we go, just a quick summary, and you click Run Flow. So what it would do is making exactly what we want, which is running this in, running a flow in the backend, converting PPTX into PDF. Let's just refresh, and we'll see because it may have already finished. All right, so you can see here it's finished. It just appended with the date, but it's exactly my presentation, so no problem with that. It's just an example anyway, very simple, but it's a PDF, right? It's not a PowerPoint anymore. Perfect. So that's already our first flow that we've done. But what does it mean in the backend? So remember that we have Automate, and he offered me to do copy file as PDF, and then another one. So it means that if I open Power Automate, really, this one, or you use the waffle, and then you open your Power Automate, which is here. So I arrive to the home page. The first time you open Power Automate, it will tell you, okay, which region do you want to be? But otherwise, you arrive in home page, gives you lots of templates that you can see, lots of tutorial as well. But I'm going to go to My Flows, and here you will see the list of all the flows that I may use for different purposes. Some are live, some are just test. And the first one here, copy file to PDF. So that's exactly what it's been creating for me. So no code involved, zero code, and it's doing the action every time I want a PDF. Let's try that. If I click once, I can see detail of the flow, the date, the permission, the famous permission that I just said yes straight away, and also the last 28 days of history. You can see that 1 minute ago, there has been a success. Excellent. Let's try the same thing again. So I'm going to go back to my OneDrive. I'm going to take another one. This time I take the agenda, and I'm going to use the top menu for once. I want to use Automate here, and I'm going to do copy file as PDF. Same thing, right? This time I don't even have to pass the permission because it should remember it, because what it did in the backend is to create the Power Automate for me. So it's already there, and I just have to do run flow. That's it. It even tells me if you want, you can go and check it. So by clicking here, it will actually take me to Power Automate to check the running of the flow. And of course, here I can refresh and confirm that my agenda is now a PDF as well as being the original file. So it's this one. All right, good. So it's working. Let's have a look at my Power Automate. Now I can see 1 minute ago, but that was about 3 minutes maybe. I'm going to refresh. You see here, refresh flow, and I can see the 30 seconds. So it's exactly the one I just did with a Word document. I click on it. I click on the flow activity or history because I want to know what it was doing actually. I don't really want to code yet, not yet, but I want to see what it was doing. So it's saying for selected file, oh, and it's an icon for OneDrive, so that's correct, selected file. If I click on it, I can even see detail of which file it was. So it may not be very meaningful for you, of course, but if we are going into programming later, we will be able to see the raw input and really analyze if the system has taken the correct file. Then it's doing some mumbo jumbo, getting the profile of the current user, it's getting some metadata. So for instance, it's getting the date it was created, the modified date, things like this. And then it just adds a condition. So the condition may be that if there is a convert file, so it's not basically failing when you convert, then it's going to send me an email to tell me like, okay, actually that's the other way. When there is an issue that you can't convert it, then it will send me an email, which is a nice way of doing error debugging. And otherwise, of course, it goes to the next step, which is green. You can see here. That's what he exactly did. And he created this file and appended it with .pdf. So that's already a first automation. That's brilliant. And I'm going to close this one now because the next one, we will go into our SharePoint and see what kind of automation we have. To automate, but within SharePoint, because there's a slight difference. Without code, of course, for now. In SharePoint, we can do a little bit more, of course, because SharePoint is more powerful than OneDrive, as you know. So here I'm opening my my test document library in SharePoint, so lots of files, and I see what options I have when I select just a file, or maybe I use the drop-down. I'm going to check how many options I have available. So in Automate, I have something like request sign-off. Okay, we had this already in OneDrive, if you remember. But what we have now is rules and create rules. Okay, that's new. New. Okay, year and a half. If we click on create rule, this is what it is. We have a set of 4 triggers. So a trigger is when something happens in a database or data set. We don't like to say that SharePoint is a database. So let's say it's a list of entries. So when something happens in this list, in this library or list to a metadata, we can it's a trigger, and then we can do an action. So either we change something in a column, we change something exactly on a property of the item, or we have a new file, or a file is deleted. So for instance, the one I really like to do a lot is file is deleted. If someone deletes a file in my library, I want to be alerted straight away. But as you can see, we can't do a lot more. We can type someone's name. I can put my my name or email. It has to be an employee of my my organization, because the name or the address has to be registered. So it's a little bit limited, really. And then you would do me, create, and as soon as someone deletes an email, including myself, by the way, then I receive a email notification. That's a little bit odd and very much simplistic. So as you may understand, it is actually a kind of replacement of the old list alert that we used to have in the classic SharePoint. That's the way of replacing it, is to say, let's use rules, and they're a bit simplistic. And let's switch to my email. You can see there's a message already, SharePoint, deleted. So even myself, when I delete an item, I will be notified. And then it tells me, go back to your file. But you can see there's no customization whatsoever. So it's a little bit odd. It's not very nice. And yeah, we can't customize. Okay, so let's go a little bit more advanced, because now I want to have a special automation, but I want more control on it. So if I click on the 3 dots here, because I want an automation for the, so I don't want, this is the annoying thing. I don't want automation It's actually called integrate. So I always get the wrong one. When you go to automate, yes, but it's rules. Now, the idea from Microsoft is to say, we're going to teach people how to speak differently because we have to do integrate and power automate. All right. So it has changed over time. It used to be under automate, now it's under integrate, and then sub menu. Power automate. And I always get it wrong anyway. So now we do create flow. Okay. Or we have the see flow. If you go to see flow, you just see your current flow, but for where you are. So let's go into create flow. Different interface as the Power Automate that we know is just a list of template. And if you click show more, you have a lot more. So let's say I want to be post a message to for a selected file. I'm going to say that I want to have a message if there is a document that has been deleted in this file. So I want to have a Microsoft Teams message. Well, we can't really see it straight away, I'm guessing really, because I don't know all of them by heart, but we can't really see. We could click on see more templates and then see if there is anything that that performs this. So when you click on see more template, surprise, surprise, it takes us to Power Automate itself, the full interface. And within this interface, yes, we have a lot more options. So let's filter. You can see here, you can say SharePoint. So we want something definitely with SharePoint, but we also want a template that will use maybe Teams. So let's try to type both keywords. And you can see with the icons how you may find it. You may find something, but again, it may not exactly answer your case. Post a message for a selected file. What we want is for anything in the library. When a new item is created, that is really good. But let's try with delete. Let's see. Maybe someone has created it. Create an item for a select. Yeah, it doesn't really do that. Let's say SharePoint delete item. You see delete file. Here we go. Delete a file from SharePoint library if and I, no, that's not what I want. Okay, so now it means that we're going to do it ourselves. So I'm going to select SharePoint and Teams because I want to have here. Post a message when a new item is created to a SharePoint list. Because in my case, I want the inverse. I want post a message when an item is deleted, not created. But the reason I'm taking something pre-made is because there are lots of steps I can just avoid and not really program them. Why not? You might use that as well because you know that part of it might be useful and the rest you can just recreate it. So you would be able to copy maybe an action. Look at this. You have copy over there. The top one, it's grayed out for the first one, but for the next, you can copy them and then reuse them in a different flow. So what am I doing here? I'm deleting the first one. Why? Because when an item is created, that's not what I want. I want to say when an item is deleted. Okay, so now it's showing me the list of all my connectors, and there are too many connectors here, right? So I could actually scroll and find it here, but I could also say show me only SharePoint. So I'm going to filter by SharePoint. If I click on it, now it's showing me my list of triggers. So remember that trigger is something happen, whereas action is I'm going to do something. And here we have when a file is deleted. You could even click on the I, really, or not click, just hover to have more info. Oh yeah, you can click now. And then learn more. You even have a bot where you can ask for, you see over there, where you can ask information on an action or have some ideas. All right, so now I need to obviously find my site. My site is the dev. So I'm going to do that very quickly. Here we go. And the message I want to post is going to be to, let's say to myself really, but I could do that for a whole channel. So, oh yes, because if it's to myself, it's not going to be this action. It's another one. I would have to create a chat message. So let's do that for this one. And then the channel ID is going to be general. And here I would say warning. Oops. Okay, you have to close this now. This is very useful because it's a dynamic data, right? So we're going to say file, and then I want to say which file, so which file name. So I'm going to say file name with extension even. And let's put this into double quotes so that it's super clear that it's a name. Let's do that again. File name with extension has been deleted from the library. And my library, I like to actually say which library it is. So I go back to my list or library, copy the URL, and in the create flow, I would say link to library. Let's do here. Click here. All right, so I select this. I'm going to put a link here in the link target. Maybe I don't want all this. Here we go. Only send it to document, shared document, maybe general or even the shared document itself. And then add, that's it. All right, let's test it. To test, you just save. Automatically, you get a little panel here so that you can already test it. Taking this time. Here we go. It's the first time, so you can't do automatically. But the next time you try it, you will be able to use the automatically, which is cool. Okay, so I said manual. So now it's going to load and wait for my action. So you see here, to see it work, perform the starting action. A lot of people just wait here. They don't see what's going on because it doesn't really say it. So go to your SharePoint and finally make the action, right? So we're going to close this panel. And the action that we want to do is to select one, click delete, and really delete the file. All right, let's go back to my tab, which is open on Power Automate. And over there, we should see something happening. Tick, tack, tick, tack. All right, it should now, obviously, it's going to take a few seconds because it's all this servers talking. Here we go. Flow runs successfully and everything is green. So it has detected that there is a delete that happened. It's even telling you the library name, but over there, it sends the message and also it's giving me file name has been deleted with the link as well. Great. So it means I can go to my, was this an email? No, it was a team message. So I can go to my team and I sent it to this guy. I can see activity, but otherwise I can go to the channel. So you can see activity has 2, right? And here we go. That's the message I sent. And in one click, I can go to the library. I will be able to go to the recycle bin maybe and restore. Okay, and another way to automate your business, to call Power Automate, is via Teams. Okay, so let's open Teams. And when I say one other way, it's actually a few again. So one way is to open the app on the left hand side. You can see that here I have a few custom apps that you can just right click and add them. If I click on the little 3 dots, I can see Power Automate. So it's actually a way of accessing Power Automate without leaving Teams. The interface is slightly different. You will see that the new Power or the new flow is on the right, whereas on the Power Automate full interface is on the left. Then here is quite useful because you can just enable, disable some of the automation that you've done before. So why not? You could just have a look. And also, what's more interesting is that you know which teams or channel they belong. So it means, did I create it inside a team, inside a channel? It will be listed here. So quite a nice interface, actually. I do use this one every now and then. Let's go into the other way, Teams. So inside one of your channel. So let's say I have some automation here. So I will want to have a direct access to see if my flow is running and just maybe to enable it manually. So I can't really see anything here. I would have to open Power Automate, maybe using the other tool. But I could actually have it within the channel because it makes sense. It belongs to the channel. So let's click on the plus. And then within this, you can filter by app or just select Power Automate. It will just tell you, like, okay, do you want to tell the whole channel that we are adding this tab? and then click Save. So what is showing here is going to be a crop down interface of Power Automate, but especially only the flow that belong or are stored inside your channel. So you can see that this one, for instance, is a flow that is running constantly inside our channel general, and therefore it's quite a good idea to have it here. So I could now have the tab, and maybe I'm going to check, I'll rename it here, saying check flow, so that everybody can see the flow, can run it manually. Maybe in one click, we can see the log as well, and it can be beneficial for business.
Well done for watching all the way. If you like what you saw, just click the subscribe button, like, and forward or share to others. Therefore, we'd make more and more explanation like this one.